The socially mistaken pattern is built up in the first 4 or 5 years. Mostly we find as reasons for it imperfect organs, or that the child had been pampered, or that we find hated children is among orphans, sometimes illegitimate children, ugly children, not wanted children, and so on. This pattern is fixed and can be changed only if we are able to convince this child about the mistakes, or later in life. Therefore, we could eliminate the mistakes in this pattern, either in prevention, to educate the family how to educate children rightly, or we could make the school an instrument of the social progress, to recognize the mistakes in their beginning and to accomplish more social interest among the pupils. Later in life it is more difficult, and it must be an individual treatment how to convince such a person and how to change him. In this way, we are sure that the key of the individual psychology is the most important and worthwhile key, and we can get much better in with other methods what is the mistake made in the childhood and how to correct it.
So Adler was a physician and psychotherapist who founded individual psychology, also known as Adlerian psychology. Unlike Freud's focus on the unconscious and past traumas, Adler emphasized the individual's conscious goals and their striving for superiority, not in a sense of dominance over others, but in a drive for self-improvement and social contribution. He was also a pioneer in community psychology, recognizing the importance of social factors in mental health. Now, let me tell you more about Alfred Adler's life and how it might shape his theories. So Adler was born in Vienna and initially practiced ophthalmology before shifting to general practice in less privileged area. This experience, along with working with circus performers, likely influenced his ideas about compensation and overcoming perceived weaknesses. So his early involvement in the psychoanalytic movement with Freud is well known, but their differing views led to Adler's departure and the development of his own distinct school of thought. There are some key concepts in Adlerian psychology. So one central concept is striving for superiority, which Adler later refined to striving for perfection. This isn't about dominating others, but also about striving to become the best version of oneself. He also emphasized social interest, the innate human capacity for empathy and cooperation. Adler believed that a healthy lifestyle is characterized by a strong sense of social interest and a proactive approach to life's challenges. So now, I mentioned lifestyle. So what does this mean in Adler's framework? So Adler believed that each individual develops a unique style of life, a pattern of behaviors and interpretations that shapes how they navigate the world. This style of life is formed early in childhood and is influenced by both innate characteristic and environmental factors. It is essentially a person's unique way of striving for perfection. Adler also talked about inferiority and superiority complexes. So Adler believed that a sense of inferiority is inherent in all humans. While healthy individuals overcome this through striving for perfection, some develop an inferiority complex, characterized by feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Conversely, A superiority complex is an overcompensation for feelings and inferiority, manifesting as arrogance and the need to dominate others. Also, Adler categorized individuals into different psychological types. What are they? So he identified four main types, including the ruling type, which is this is the one that is dominant and aggressive. Next, the leaning type, which is this is the dependent and anxious. Next is the avoiding type, withdrawn and low energy. And next, the socially useful type, healthy and contributing. So it is important to remember that these are not rigid categories but rather represent tendencies within a spectrum. So now, how did Adler's work differ from Freud's? So while both were influential psychoanalysts, their approaches differed significantly. Freud focused on the unconscious mind and the past, while Adler emphasized conscious goals and future aspirations. So Freud emphasized individual conflicts, while Adler highlighted the importance of social interaction and community. Now, what is the lasting legacy of Alfred Adler's work? So, Adler's ideas continue to influence modern psychology, particularly in areas such as family therapy, group therapy, and community psychology. His emphasis on social interests and the importance of a holistic approach to understanding individuals remains highly relevant today. His work has also inspired later theorists, and some argue that certain Neo-Freudians should be considered Neo-Adlerians instead. So now let's delve a little deeper into Adler's concept of fictional finalism. So this refers to the ideas that individuals are guided by beliefs and expectations, even if those beliefs aren't entirely realistic. So these fictions shape their goals and actions, and understanding them is key to understand an individual's lifestyle. Now, how can Adler's theories can be applied in everyday life? So, understanding Adler's concept can help us to better understand our own motivations and behaviors. By recognizing our own striving for perfection and developing a stronger sense of social interest, we can live more fulfilling and meaningful lives. So, behind everything's Alfred Adler's contribution to psychology, there are some people do criticize Alfred Adler's work. And now let's discuss what are some criticisms of Alfred Adler's work. So some critics argue that Adler's concepts are too broad and lack the scientific rigor of other psychological theories. So others question that the generalizability of his findings given the cultural context in which he worked. So, despite these criticisms, Alfred Adler's influence is undeniable. So, his emphasis on social interests and the importance of community is really particularly relevant in today's world. So, now let's discuss Alfred Adler's later life and his ultimate death. Facing persecution due to his Jewish heritage, Adler emigrated to the United States and continued to lecture and teach. Sadly, he died of a heart attack during a lecture tour in Scotland in 1937. His ashes were later recovered and returned to Vienna for burial. Despite many years that have passed, Alfred Adler's contributions to psychology are vast and will continue to inspire others. And that's all. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this exploration of Alfred Adler's life and work has been very insightful.